All right, what's up, everyone? Nick Atkin here, South China Morning Post, SCMP MMA, SCMP Martial Arts. We are in Bangkok, Thailand, and Garry Tonon is here. What's up, Garry?
What's going on, man? Great to see you. Great to be here. Super excited for the fight.
Yes, like I was just telling you, I have not interviewed you in person, so I'm very happy to finally do that. We have had a lot of chats online, but yeah, you're finally back. We got an arena of fans as well. How excited are you to fight in front of the people?
Oh man, I'm super excited. It's been great to be back in the post-COVID era. It's a little bit of a different feel when you're fighting in front of a real crowd, and you can feel the energy of the room. So really excited for that.
Yeah, I always enjoyed our chats as well. Very entertaining guy. You've got Johnny. Mr. Misha Tate, Johnny Cupcakes, Johnny Nunez. How are you feeling ahead of this fight? Because it didn't work out, obviously, last time. It was going to happen one way or the other. Someone's going to get finished in the first round, I thought, whether it was Tan Le in a KO or you or a submission. It went his way. You've been off for about a year now. How have you been reflecting on that? Just working hard to improve the holes in your game?
Yeah, absolutely. I grappled quite a bit this year. I did ADCC. I did that match against Ty, so I was very grappling focused after the fight because you get knocked out. You don't want to do too much hard sparring or whatever. So now I'm back into it. At first it was a slow start. Getting back into sparring. It's never fun to get punched in the face again. But I feel very in shape and very back mentally into the game of striking. Getting hitting people and not getting hit. And I feel very comfortable now. I think I have a great opportunity here with Johnny Nunez to showcase a lot of skills, both striking as well as grappling, because he's a little less of a precision striker the way that Thon is. So I feel like, he can definitely do damage, but I have a little bit more safety in there. We're two grapplers going against each other ultimately. So I feel much more comfortable, standing in front of him, striking, these sorts of things, and grappling with him,
Yeah, and it's not as if your striking is bad or anything. You were showing a lot of improvements, especially in the fight before Tan Le. Is that what you've been focusing on as well? Just keep improving it, and keep improving the striking defense?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's super important. I think that obviously that's the biggest gap that I have to fill in my game in terms of getting up to speed with the rest of the mixed martial arts community. So, we spend a lot of time on that. And then of course we always spend time integrating the grappling in with the striking, which is the most important way to do it. Cause it's, I'm obviously not a kickboxer. I'm not a boxer. I didn't do that my whole life. So it would make no sense to try to completely convert. So it's a very important intermixing of skills, and kind of masking some of the strikes with the takedowns and these sorts of things, and making, using the strong takedown as well as grappling threat to my advantage to set up my strikes, which is something that not a lot of people are able to do, because when the opponent's truly afraid of getting taken down or submitted or whatever the case may be, it's much easier to fake things and then come back upstairs for strikes.
Yeah. I haven't really spoken to you since that fight against Tan Le. Did you take time, was it hard to reflect on it personally, or did you just think that's the way it goes? Was there any feelings of sadness, annoyance? Could you have done better? Could you have taken it differently?
Oh, I could definitely have done better. I'd like to believe I could have done better anyway. Of course I think any loss, KO loss specifically, even worse than getting submitted, in my opinion, just because it's just real damage that's getting done mentally. So it's depressing and all of these things that you mentioned, but it's been a long time, and it didn't, it was definitely something that I wondered prior to losing for the first time, prior to getting KO'd for the first time. How would I react? How would I handle it emotionally? How would I handle it physically? All these things. Would I still want to fight afterwards? Because I got interviewed, my first few fights, and it's like, oh yeah, how do you like fighting? And it's like, well, fighting great because I'm beating everybody. I don't think that you get a full perspective until you also experience the bad parts. So I've gotten hit pretty hard in certain fights now. I've gotten KO'd now. So I know what that's like. I'm not looking to experience it again, right? But I at least know from a perspective of how that I'm going to react to that afterwards, and that I can recover, and that I can come back, and that's what I'm looking to do in this fight. So.
You still want to be the champion? Is that still the goal?
Yeah, of course. I think it's the goal for most guys. At least the goal that they're always going to say, one way or the other. But I definitely want to still be the champion. That's my goal here in one. Is to to rise to all the challenges that are available to me. And I think the first most important one to conquer is the championship belt within my weight division, and I think I'm very close. I was right up there. I had my championship fight. I lost, but I was happy to have the opportunity. I know I'm going to have the opportunity again, whether it's, 1, 2, 3 fights, whatever it takes for them to get me back in there and fight against whoever may be the champion at that time, because we don't have a dominant champion anymore like we did with Martin, who was just there, every single time defending the title. So right now it's kind of rotating around. So we'll see where it is when they feel the time has come for me to have another opportunity. But I'm always ready. If they told me, immediately after this fight, let's do the championship fight, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Do you feel you get there with a win over Johnny, or would you need to fight someone maybe in the top 5? Because did you want to take a fight against someone not in the top 5 just to get back in the rhythm of winning, like that kind of thing? I often think people should do that more. If they suffer a bad loss, maybe get the confidence back up by not taking on the next biggest challenge. But you often see people go for broke again and then they lose 2, 3 in a row, and it derails a career a little bit. But I'm in favor of this kind of thing. Like, why don't you have a little bit of a fight where you're confident of getting a victory more so than maybe against the number 1 contender?
Yeah. Me and Johnny have similar records, so I think it makes sense, the fight. But they offered me, when I was preparing for ADCC, they offered me Martin, and I thought that was a great fight. I've been dying for that fight for a really long time. But unfortunately, I was trying to cut to 145 pounds, day of weigh-in for ADCC. It just wasn't a good time. So hopefully they offer me that. I would love to see that fight happen in the States, in Denver, when they're putting on that show. That would be really cool, because both me and Martin fight in I shouldn't say fight. Both me and Martin live in the U.S., so it would be kind of cool, I think, for both of our fan bases to have one out there. So I'm pushing for that. I don't know if he wants that, but that's definitely what I would like. It wasn't my choice, this fight. This is just, I told them, I said I want to, the earliest I'm willing to fight because of the ADCC camp stuff was early January, and they gave me exactly what I wanted. So they just said, this is who you got for early January.
So it's not you taking a tune-up or anything?
No. Like I said, they offered me Martin first. So, I would have, and if they had offered me Martin at the beginning of January, I would have taken that one.
Well, he's got a tough fight as well next month against Shamil Gusanov, who is a new top 5 contender. There's another one, Ilya Fremenov, who beat Martin. The division's just getting really packed now, isn't it? Really exciting. And do you feel you match up better against some of these guys as well? Or how do you reckon you fare?
So difficult to say, man. Everybody's got an interesting array of skills. Ilya, I think, is a very strong kickboxer, if I'm not mistaken, from watching his fights. Martin's has a much better collection of skills. He's just a true mixed martial artist, has a lot of different skills and that big overhand threat. So all these guys, it's just different, man. It's just different. I don't know if there's one specific top contender that I say oh man, I just match up the best with that guy. You know what I mean? It's hard to say. I think there'll be interesting fights no matter what. And
Tan Kai, the champion, obviously beat Tan Le. I guess same question. Would you think you would fare better against his skill set than Tan's?
That's an interesting question. It's hard to say. I need more data. I need to see somebody like me, which is rare, fighting him, and which I haven't seen, and then I'd have to fight Thon again to really feel. It's it's so difficult to say, But from an outside perspective, maybe it's so hard to say. I really can't. Everybody's got such different skills, and Thon's really really great, and so is he, and so is Kai, and I don't know.
I feel, a lot of people maybe forgotten about you, but before the loss to Tan, you were really wrecking through everyone. So this is a big chance for you to just remind everyone Garry Tonon is still here.
That's right. I love that. Yeah, I don't really have much to say other than yes.
I also saw you rolling with DJ, Demetrius Johnson. Was that recently, right?
Yeah, he came down. He was taking a visit down to Austin for for some promo for a sponsor or something, and I think also maybe he was on Joe Rogan, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, he knew that we were there and decided to do a training session with us, which was super cool. He actually showed up to morning session, which most people don't do. Showed up at 8 a.m. Wow. And I think I was post ADCC at that point when we were training together. But it was a cool little role, man. I had a good time. I think he sent me the clip and stuff. It was I think we rolled for 20 minutes or something, but he clipped it up a little bit, so it was a little shorter. Because I think it's a little more palatable for people that way. But it was fun. Had a lot of fun training with DJ, and he just seems like a super nice, down-to-earth guy. Yeah. So.
And you did mention that you did you did fight, or sorry, you did compete after the Tan fight against Tai Rotolo.
Yes.
Incredible performance from him.
Sure.
The Darce choke. Was that just a case of hats off? This kid's too good. You know, those two guys are incredible. Or would you like to try that one again? Could it go a different way? If like 9 out of 10 times, would it be the same result? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd love to run it back. I don't think he's too good. I think
Yeah.
that's definitely not the way that I feel about that fight, or match, I should say. I definitely would love that match again. I would love to have a match against his brother as well. He's a little bit closer to my weight class, but I've used to grappling everybody bigger than me anyway. But yeah, I'd love to run that one back. I think that I just got a little too comfortable, like in terms of my submission defense. I haven't dealt with anybody that is that proficient with Darces in my career, I guess. And I got to feel it firsthand, like, man, if you give this guy the opportunity for the Darce, like, he's going to take it, and it's going to be tough to get out, and I'm not used to that. Most of the time when people threaten me with Darces, like, I have almost no problem. But between the length of their arms and the level of technique that they have with the move, clearly they're very, very good at it. So, I think going into the next match, I would be much smarter about hand placement and things as far as the way that I offered him that position. And that would be how I would run things back different if we were going to do that one again.
Would you like to try and win a grappling title in one as well, or do you want to stick with focusing on MMA here?
The main focus is going to be MMA, especially because like COVID kind of derailed things a little bit, and my fight with Thon took forever.
Yeah.
Like it took like a year for that to happen. So, I really wanted to be on pace to get like 3-4 fights a year. So I would love for that to be the story of my 2023. If grappling fits into that somehow, fine, but it's not the goal. Okay.
All right. Well, also just I've been asking everyone, it's a very sad thing happened a few days ago. Victoria Lee, they announced, died. I'm not sure if you met her or met any of the Lee family, but yeah, just very, very tragic.
Yeah, I've met some of the Lees. No, I don't know anybody very personally. I never met Victoria either. But just needless to say, super sad. And, unfortunate. I have no idea of any of the details, and I'm sure, maybe at some point we'll get some of them. But either way, especially, death is always a terrible thing, to be talking about. But when we're talking about someone so young, it often hits much, much harder. Because when we look at the young, we see so much opportunity and so much more, what would you call it, to like a certain like freshness, like an innocence. That's what it is, of the young that I think we see too, where they haven't lived as much of their life. There's so much that could have been, and that's what I think makes it so sad. So, heart goes out to their family, and it's a shame for everyone, but also the mixed martial arts community.
Absolutely. But yeah, just final word. Saturday morning, I saw a funny thing on social media. You said about getting punched in the face at 8 a.m. isn't going to be so fun, but yeah, what's going to happen?
Yeah, I'm first fight, so yeah, 8 a.m. Just wake up, have some breakfast, and get punched in the face, and hopefully submit this guy. Yeah.
How early do you have to get up then to just get in the zone to actually be in that environment?
I've been waking up at like 4:30 a.m. while we're out here. Yeah, I'm trying to readjust. The traffic here is super terrible, and I train like an hour away from here, so it helps me like get breakfast and then go straight to training and then come back. So I'm going to sleep at like 8 p.m. every day. So.
Right. Well. Garry Tonon, always fun to catch up, and good luck for Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.